I am a woman of faith and a woman of war. So I can lay hands or I can lay hands. In just a bit, we're going to get into the 2 things that you need to lay your hands on this season. I'm Artisha T. Bolding, and I motivate women and entrepreneurs to birth their business, book, or brand. I ensure they are no longer stuck in life, but thriving in success that's aligned with their passion and purpose. My life changed when I understood that as a woman in business, as a young woman entering the marketplace, wanting to dominate, at least in my industry, and wanting to achieve a level of success, I had to do things very different than my male counterparts. Things changed for me when I realized that, yes, I could be bold, genuine, and authentic, but I also had to be strategic every single day, which is why one of my mottos is no days off. I'm only going to be here with you for a few minutes, but I want to give you the opportunity to learn more about an amazing tool that I developed to shift you from surviving to thriving. And I'll give you an opportunity to do that at the end of our talk today. So right at the beginning of the pandemic, I had the bright idea to launch a business. All right. In the midst of this chaos, I said, now's the time. I cannot wait any longer. And so I founded Igniting Minds Coaching, and I launched ArtishaBolding.com. I've transformed women-owned and operated businesses all over here in Georgia, South Carolina, Florida, DC, Maryland, Virginia, California, Texas, and Nevada. I hope I didn't leave any off. I don't think I did. I also have 3 Amazon best-selling books. I'm a fur mom, and I just so happen to be married to a handsome chocolate math teacher. I'm grateful for the life I'm currently living. And like you, I have a lot going on. So in thinking about how I came to be where I am, I looked at some very difficult moments in my life that I simply could not have planned for. As I began to dissect things, I centered on an instance about 5 years ago when my world blew up. I feel like all roads lead back to that event. At that time, I was working 50 and even 60 hours per week on a wretched, dusty construction site. I liked my house. I loved my clothes, but I hated my life. And I was no big fan of my husband either at the time. In fact, I had divorce papers drawn up and was preparing to serve him when out of nowhere, at the ripe old age of 38, I became gravely ill. From the fall of 2017 to the spring of 2018, I spent a total of 26 days in the hospital. I went into a coma 3 times. I flatlined twice. I literally had 1 foot in the grave. And lying there in the hospital bed, all I could think about was, what will they say at my funeral? What kind of legacy am I leaving behind? It was saddening and sobering, and I decided that day in May that if I was spared, I would change. If instead of being zipped up or boxed up and carried out of there, if I was fortunate enough to step out of that hospital, I would do things differently. Thankfully, I did. And ever since, it has been my mission to make sure that no woman ever feels the way I felt that day. I want you to experience real joy and fulfillment every day by attacking and aligning your master plan. And if you like the sound of that, if I got your coffee perking, then stick around until the end and I'll tell you more about how you can experience a game-changing shift in your life now. So, how do we as women step into the best version of ourselves and master our plan? In order to transform your life, you must break free of the old patterns keeping you trapped in your past. Unravel this twisted version of you and reveal your best self so you can start living and not just existing. Whether in a solo shop or conglomerate, women in business must operate from a two-pronged plan, a plan of attack and a plan of alignment. And it starts with remembering your why. You have to go beyond the bottom line and design a masterful plan around your life and business that will be beautifully executed. So again, what is your why? What's your purpose? What really drives you? My why is to empower women to greatness. I'm tired of the I hate Mondays culture, the why me culture. I'm building legacies of health, wealth, and wisdom so that the graveyards are no longer the richest places around. I want to create and highlight a culture of spiritually centered, independently wealthy women, entrepreneurs, and executives. And so we're operating in a patriarchal society that's rampant with sexism and misogynoir. Still, goal setting is everywhere in our world. We set goals for our careers, our health, and our lives in general. It seems modern society is always encouraging us to think about the next milestone. However, what we don't think about enough is the strategy of how to accomplish your goals. That's why I'm here today. I survived congestive heart failure and having to be hooked up to a ventilator. You can survive whatever business, family, and life bring your way. I'm a witness. You can live the life that you want and experience the things that you want. So when I refer to a master life plan, what I'm talking about is fairly simple to understand, but not always easy to walk out. It's goal setting and execution. Experts define goal setting as the act of selecting a target or objective you wish to achieve. Instead of asking yourself something like, what does success look like to me? Or specifically, what do I want to achieve? The key questions you ask yourself must change. You should instead ask, what kind of pain do I want? The real challenge is not determining if you want the result, but if you are willing to accept the sacrifices required to achieve your goal. Do you want the lifestyle that comes with your quest? Do you want the boring and ugly process that comes before the exciting and glamorous outcome? It's not unlike pregnancy and childbirth. We all love to play with the baby. We love to play the baby shower games and holding that cute little baby once it gets here with that cuddly soft skin, that sweet, innocent newborn smell. But that bouncing bundle of joy takes 40 painful weeks of incubation. Your body and your hoo-ha is stretched in ways you didn't imagine. Your bladder and your intestines are functioning completely than they did before. Completely different. Your eating habits are totally different. Not to mention that after that cute little joker gets here, your life as you know it is over. Once you go into that delivery room for at least the next 18 years, it's all about them. They are the priority. So it's easy to sit around and think on what we could do or what we want to have. But it's an entirely different thing to accept the trade-offs that come with the goals in our life plan. Everyone wants a gold medal, but no one wants to train like an Olympian. Or I should say, few people want to train like an Olympian. So you must develop a milestone map as a part of your master plan. Take the time to brainstorm the real life methodologies you must adapt in order to execute your goals. This means pulling out that calendar and that budget. You may have to sacrifice some sleep, some shopping time, some vacation time to reach those goals and hit those milestones. You're going to have to start managing every area of your life like a business, meaning every activity you commit to in this season needs to have a time frame and a budget. And you have to track all your spending. At the end of every week, you should review what you've spent both in time and treasure and measure that against what you're accomplishing. And I would be remiss if I left out self-care and soul care. You have to align your spiritual needs and mental health needs in this plan as well. It's not easy, but it's doable. And because you've given me your attention today and spent this entire time with me, I want to give you the opportunity to have a special ebook I wrote called Peace Over Panic. It's going to be key in getting you back to center and designing this beautifully executable master plan. So go over to artishabolding.com, scroll down to the contact section and put in Black Speakers Network gift, and I'll make sure you get your very own copy. I look forward to seeing you master that plan.
Hello, everybody. My name is Eva Medilek, and I am an international speaker, #1 best-selling author, and certified high-performance coach. What I do is I help busy entrepreneurs and professionals advance their careers without sacrificing their personal lives in the process, especially if they are working a 9-to-5. So I'm here to talk to you about how you can have and achieve that success without sacrificing your personal life. You see, we live in a society where many coaches and gurus are making a living telling us to do more. You are taking on more and more in your life and business, and it's leaving you feeling exhausted because you're constantly being told that more is better. And that's not necessarily true. I mean, how many times have you added more salt, more sugar, or extra whatever to recipes, hoping that it would make it better, and it actually ended up being a disaster? When I was in Germany last summer, my husband's mother made me a cake, and I was really looking forward to that good German baking. Well, that darn cake was so dry that we all nearly choked to death. And we asked her what happened. She said the eggs she used were too big, so she added more flour. Well, adding more ruined the cake. And I bet if you were to open your calendars right now, it would be filled with more classes, more courses, more webinars, and more trainings that you think you need to be successful in your life and business, but actually leave you feeling exhausted, overwhelmed, and frustrated. And it's probably the reason why you don't have much time left over for anything else. There's so much pressure in society today for us to perform at a certain level. We are expected to do so many things at once. We're expected to be fun, hardworking, ambitious, organized, generous with our time. And we're constantly being bombarded with messages that suggest that if we're somehow not all of those things, that we fail to live up to our potential. I mean, even the advertising business is making money selling us ways to do more. I mean, look at the Energizer Bunny. He has a battery that keeps him going and going and going. And back when I was in college, some of you might remember this. There was this popular perfume commercial, and it depicted the ultimate successful woman. And she comes out in 3 different outfits: a business suit, a housewife holding a frying pan, and a sexy dress. And all the while she's singing, "I can bring home the bacon, fry it up in a pan, and never, never, never let you forget you're a man, because I'm a woman." And that tagline was Anjali, the 8-hour perfume for the 24-hour woman. So basically, you're expected to work 24 hours a day like the Energizer Bunny. But hey, at least you'll be smelling good as you work yourself to death. You see, ideas like that have set us up to believe that in order to have it all, that we have to be it all and do it all too. And what is the pursuit of having it all costing you? I know some of you are going through life right now, feeling stressed out, burnt out, overwhelmed, and it's affecting your mood, your health, your interactions with other people, because you're always busy. You're doing a lot and you're exhausted. In fact, you're doing so much to keep up with the demands of your work life and your personal life that it's taken its toll on both, especially those of you who are working hard to build your entrepreneurial business and still working a 9 to 5. You're sacrificing your health, your well-being, and your relationships to be successful and have it all. Now, you might start to think, well, what other way is there? I've got to hustle and grind. How else can I advance my career without sacrificing those things? What I want to share with you is that you don't have to sacrifice everything, but you will have to sacrifice some things. And the problem is you're sacrificing the wrong things and it's hurting you in the long run. Back about 12 years ago, I had a really good job in San Francisco as a dental hygienist. I was newly married. I was preparing to celebrate my 50th birthday, and my boss called me into her office to tell me that I was being downsized. And that knocked me for a loop. I'm sure some of you know what it feels like to be dependent on a job, even when that job makes you miserable. But sometimes the universe gives you a reason and an opportunity to dream bigger and to take action towards your dreams. But we get so comfortable being miserable that we have excuse after excuse as to why we can't take action now. It's not the right time. We can't afford it. We don't have the money. And sometimes we need that kick in the butt. And that kick in the butt happened to me. And it's the reason why I became an entrepreneur, and a high achieving one at that. Because while I was working hard to have it all, I was doing it all. I was working full time as a dental hygienist. I was building a successful real estate investment company. I was also a wife and a mom and doing all the cooking, all the shopping, all the laundry, all of it. I was like that woman in the commercial, right? But I was burnt out, stressed out, and overwhelmed all the time. And it affected my mood and my health and my relationship with my husband, especially our communication, because I was so tired all the time and I was in pain in my back, neck, and shoulders. Our communication became short and snippy and impatient with each other. And like most busy folks, I thought we had time, as soon as the business gets to a certain level. Right? As soon as we make a certain amount of money, as soon as we own a certain amount of properties, then we'll have time to work on our relationship and spend more time together. And I'm sure you guys know what it feels like to have what I call as soon as disease. Well, as soon as happened for me when I accidentally discovered that my husband was having an affair. And it was a punch in the gut because I realized that I was in danger of losing everything I was working so hard to have. I mean, how many of you have said you're working this hard for your spouse, for your kids, for your family, for your future, and yet you're spending very little time with the people that you claim you're working so hard for? It was in that moment that I realized that I had to own the responsibility for what was happening in my marriage. I contributed to this breakdown. And I'm sharing this with you because I was not prioritizing what mattered most to me. I was prioritizing working a job and building a business and putting my health and my relationships on the back burner. So my husband and I, we worked hard to build a new relationship out of the ashes of the old one. And we worked on our own personal development because how you do one thing is how you do everything. And so I moved from underperforming in my life as a high achiever to living a high performance life. And I also became a high performance coach. So what is high performance coaching, you might be thinking? It's basically succeeding consistently over the long term, while maintaining your well-being, your health, and positive relationships. Because a lot of successful people are miserable in their lives. I mean, climbing that ladder to success is lonely, and you're often working alone and in isolation from your life and from your families. And high performance habits resonated with me because I realized that my current habits were contributing to the stress and breakdown in my relationship. You see, I didn't know how to achieve success in one area of my life without sacrificing in other important areas of my life. Most of you that are high achieving, driven, busy professionals are amazing at being the best at what you do. But in that process of becoming the best at what you do, you often sacrifice in some other important areas of your life, like your health, your fitness, your relationships, and most importantly, yourself. Because in trying to have time for everything, you end up having time for nothing. And so it's really time for you to start creating a life that works for you and your goals. So I want to invite you to go to my website, evamedilek.com, and actually download my free gift, The Energy Generating Habits for Performance and Success. And you'll also find on there information for booking me as a speaker if that's what you want. But it's evamedilek.com/energy, and you can get the Energy Generating Habits for Success. Thank you for listening. I appreciate your time.
Hello, and welcome to my presentation on how to create and leave a legacy of wealth. My name is Felicia Phillips, and I am your favorite licensed financial services professional. Today, I am super excited to come to you to talk about a very powerful tool for wealth creation known as a cash accumulation policy. Now, if you've never heard of a cash accumulation policy, then guess what? You are in for a treat, number one. But number two, it probably means that you've never sat down with a licensed financial services professional like myself. And so you need to get on my calendar ASAP for a complimentary financial review. Now, of course, I won't have time to get into all of the intricate details of this cash value policy, but I want to share some of the top benefits of this amazing plan, which offers the best of both worlds. You're able to acquire or to create wealth for yourself right now, but with this policy, you're also able to create wealth that will allow you to leave a legacy for your loved ones for generations to come. So let's go ahead and get started and look at some of the benefits of this plan. One of the benefits of a cash accumulation policy is that you're able to grow your money tax-free. Turn to your neighbor and say tax-free. Who doesn't want to grow money tax-free? That is really an amazing benefit of this product. Number two is that the money that you accumulate in this policy is accessible to you without any age restrictions. Now, there are some variable products like a 401k, for example, where you're not able to access your money without paying a penalty. In a 401k, if you attempt to withdraw money from your account before age 59 and a half, there is a 10% penalty. Well, guess what? In a cash accumulation policy, there is no penalty for taking your money out whenever you want to take it out. All you have to do is sit down with your licensed financial professional, figure out what you want to take out, and then I will show you how you're able to take that money out absolutely tax-free, and it doesn't matter how old you are. Isn't that amazing? But guess what? That's not it. Benefit number three is that this cash accumulation policy is not subject to market loss. Those of you who follow the market may know that in 2022 alone, the market suffered $9 trillion in loss, and 3 million of that was in retirement plan. Well, guess what? With this policy, your money is not subject to market loss because it mirrors the market, but it's not a part of the market. So what that means is when the market is up, your money is going to grow. Your money is going to go up. But guess what? When the market is down and people that have variable products are losing money, your money is going to lock in. It is called an index strategy. It is called a tax advantage plan. And so because of that, you are not going to lose any money. Now, Warren Buffett has two rules of money. The first rule is never lose money. And the second rule is never forget rule number one. And I like to abide by those two rules. And guess what? A cash value policy will position you so that you don't have to lose any money. The fourth benefit of this plan is that you're able to withdraw money for whatever you want to use it for. I have some clients who create these plans in order to pay for college for their children. Some people create it for retirement. Others just want to have some type of a nest egg. Some use it to start business ventures. You can access the money in this plan and use it for whatever you want to use it for without restrictions. And the last point that I'm going to share with you is the death benefit. Remember, we're talking about how to create wealth for yourself right now, but also how to leave a legacy of wealth. And so with a cash accumulation policy, not only are you able to accumulate or grow your wealth, but you also grow a death benefit that is available for your children, your children's children, for whoever it is that you designate as your beneficiary, those that you love. And so those individuals, after your death, would receive the death benefit, and that money is available to them. Get this, tax-free. They do not have to pay any taxes on this money, and it is also probate-free. So those are just some of the amazing benefits of a cash value policy. Now, you may be thinking, what would that really look like? Well, I'm glad that you asked, because I am going to take a couple of minutes to just go through an illustration of a cash value policy. In this illustration, we are looking at an individual who's 30 years old, who has decided, I want to save $2,000 a month so that I can pull retirement income from my cash value policy at age 65 and leave a legacy for my family. Let's see how that's done. Well, at $2,000 a month, this individual would be looking at contributing a total of $24,000 for the year. The cash value in this account would begin to grow in year 2, and you can see that number just continuing to rise at compounded interest over the years. In addition to the cash surrender value, remember that's the money that you can use whenever you want and however you want to use it, you also get that generous death benefit. This death benefit is $1.5 million to start. That means even if this individual passed away at the end of the first year of the plan, their beneficiaries would get $1.5 million probate-free and tax-free. By age 65, this individual would have contributed $840,000. And guess what? That cash surrender value will have now grown to $2.9 million. That is wealth for you right now. But on top of that, the death benefit is now $4.4 million. Now and for later. But remember, this individual also wanted to take an income. And so it's set up to give an income of $228,000 a year in retirement. We're typically retired for 25 years. And so we're looking at $5.7 million in retirement, absolutely tax-free. Now, is that a good deal or is that a good deal? Even if we consider the $840,000 that was contributed, there is still a net profit of $4.8 million. That, my friend, is the power of a cash accumulation policy. Now, I know what you may be thinking. You may be thinking, I don't have $2,000 to contribute to a policy like this right now. Well, guess what? You can contribute as much or as little as you want to a policy like this, depending on what your goals are. Your first step is sitting down with me for a free complimentary financial review where we'll talk about what your goals are, what you want to do, and what you're comfortable saving. And so that, again, my friends, is the power of a cash accumulation policy to help you to create wealth now and later. Now, let me tell you, historically, there are a couple of entrepreneurs who made a lot of money using money from a life insurance product. Walt Disney pulled money from his life insurance in order to start Disney World. John Cash Penny, when his business was really going through it, He used money from his life insurance policy in order to keep J.C. Penney's alive and open. And we all know the Rockefellers, right? They built their wealth using cash accumulation policies. This is an amazing product, and it is an amazing opportunity for you to build wealth now and for later. I hope that this was insightful. I hope you learned a lot, and I look forward to connecting with you to talk more about how you can grow wealth now and later. Please follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at FRP Speaks. That is at FRP Speaks. And you can also email me at info@FeliciaRPhillips.com. info@FeliciaRPhillips.com if you'd like to schedule a complimentary session or a complimentary financial review. Thank you so much for your time, and I look forward to connecting with you soon.
Greetings, my name is Giavonna White. My artist name is Energy, and the title of this talk is Exude Your Energy. I have been in education for 20 years. After working in community settings, my first time working in a school was in a special education classroom. A few Black girls would spend their recess dancing in my classroom. That turned into a group of 2nd to 5th grade Black girls performing at Multicultural Night. I taught them an African song that I learned in elementary school. It was so beautiful to see the Black girls with head wraps on while the younger ones modeled and they did numerous dances. I presented to high school scholars annually at Block Party. Blocks stand for Building Leaders of Change. I did that for 6 years. We touched on topics such as Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez and violence against Black women and girls, Beyonce's 50th year tribute to the women of the Black Panther Party during the Super Bowl halftime show, colorism, fat shaming, and Mama Africa. We looked at different celebrities, examples of Black love, and we looked at different Black women celebrities' quotes that touched on their definition of Black girl magic. And my first class was on affirmations and self-talk. Now let's talk about that energy we all have, that inner greatness. Kids have it naturally. A young person made this right here. My voice matters, but oftentimes we silence them. There's a quote from Marseille Martin. She declares, "Everyone thinks you have to grow up to know who you are, but kids already know who we are. The world just beats it out of us." Our role as educators is not to be that hard force, rather is to be that sunshine. Now we're women, so it's called Daughter Shine, or we can be gender non-binary and just shine on them. Flowers and food, they need like 7 hours of sunshine. That's a whole school day. Are you that kind of sunshine? Or are you the most important educator, the parent? Are you that soil that put the seeds there, you hold them firmly and nourish them? I'm from Seattle, so I'm sure y'all associate us with the rain. It's the hard days, the days that they're crying, having those growing pains that also assist in their development. The inner garden. I spent a couple years as an infant teacher. You know, all that crying that babies do. And at that age is when we grow through the most stages. Along with teaching children, I taught adults for 1 year. I danced with a small group of women as I taught hip hop, Afrobeats, and dance hall at a gym. For adult women, it's important for us to tap into our inner goddess. Days before the pandemic shut down normal life, I chaperoned elementary, middle, and high school scholars from the West Coast, Washington, to Washington, D.C. We toured Howard University, we went to the new African American Museum, and we also visited the White House. Trump was in there, we didn't know it, but the ancestors kept me outside, okay? But when scholars came out, I was loud and proud, hyping them up. The next energy is groove. There's a groove in how you move that's not about music, rather about your spirit. I had to tap into that as I worked for an organization that traveled to churches to heal America of the deadliest sin of them all, racism. As white parents were educated, I did fun games for children of white parents to learn how to be anti-racist. When I was a Freedom School summer literacy teacher, scholars got books on Black history. One of the teaching tools was using current songs to get students hype about learning. Actually, music was used for a lot of things. A simple request to sit down was take a seat, take a load off of your feet, sit on down, what? Sit on down, what? Currently, I work in a middle school special education class, but I asked the admin if I could bring my boombox for Hip Hop History Month and Black History Month. I played music at the front doors before and after school. These last two energies are not from me, rather from a couple of scholars, from the mouths of babes. They requested I play Glory and Golden. Glory states, "The biggest weapon is to stay peaceful. We sing, our music is the cuts that we bleed through. Somewhere in the dream we had an epiphany. Now we right the wrongs in history. No one can win the war individually. It takes wisdom of the elders and the young people's energy." Golden states, "Living my life like it's golden, living your life like it's golden." What does it mean to be golden? Last year, I was one of the first cohorts of meditation for educators. Allow yourself time for stillness, quietness of the mind, and to shine for yourself so that you can be sunshine, daughter, shine so you can shine for others. Exude your energy. You can find me on Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter at Dance Energy, DANCEINNERG. Thank you.
The following conversation changed my life. Johnette, would you come into my office? Sure. Mark from HR is going to join us. Johnette, we value you and your service, but unfortunately, due to budget cuts, we will be terminating your employment. That was my first time facing unemployment. It left me feeling inadequate, embarrassed, and confused, and I could not understand how I, Dr. Johnette Ruffner-Ceaser, could be experiencing this type of rejection. Being laid off wasn't supposed to happen to me. I did everything right. I had been a good student, earned 3 degrees, and worked at several highly respected organizations. My college advisor, colleagues, and mentors told me that once I completed my doctorate, I would be overloaded with opportunities. Well, opportunity did not come the way I expected. One fall morning, I was drawn to an old scenic bridge. Surprisingly, it was there that I began to get answers to my daunting situation. The answers were not neatly wrapped in a new job. They were actually nestled in messy tears and high-pitched screams that triggered months of new revelations about me and my power. My time on the bridge did not reveal all of the answers, but it was enough to help me lick my wounds, change my perspective, and end the pity party. Initially, after the layoff, I thought I was not skilled, savvy, or smart enough. Slowly, I began to realize my journey was not due to a lack of skill or intelligence. It was a journey of self-discovery. And this experience was designed to reveal that I was well educated, but not well activated, meaning I was smart. I had the tools for success, but I didn't know how to use them. I needed to reinvent myself by changing my thinking and my strategy. After my layoff in 2016, I did reinvent myself by becoming an entrepreneur, and today I am the founder and CEO of Liberated Expressions, LLC, where we teach mid to senior career women how to obtain peace in their professional lives. Fast forward to 2020, the most amazing, scary thing happened: COVID. COVID disrupted our sense of security, and it not only pulled back the comforter, exposing our vulnerability, but it also took the sheets and the pillowcase off of the bed, leaving us afraid, uncertain, unmotivated, and asking, now what? The pandemic made me feel like we were living in the twilight zone, but it also made me feel like we were on the set of the greatest makeover show ever. You know the premise of most makeover shows. They have 5 components: the backstory of the person who's getting the makeover, the reason why they want it, what the makeover would mean to that person, what the person will do once the makeover is complete, and then finally, the great reveal. And like the people who get selected to be on these shows, I want to suggest that this is the season of your great reveal. This is your opportunity to be the person you always wanted to be, to erase the board and reintroduce yourself to the world. Why? Because the rules have changed and the limits are off. In my work, the number one reason career women hold themselves back is due to fear of not being enough. And to address the challenge, many obtain additional degrees, certifications, and work themselves to death to obtain validation. And this approach to professional advancement is ineffective and deadly. Today, I'm calling out career women who are tired of operating beneath their calling, want peace in their professional lives, and are ready to put on their crown and rule. Viola Davis, who played Nanisca in Woman King, said during a recent interview, "There is something to be said about diving into something you automatically assume you can't do. There's something you have to tap into, and when you bust out of it, it's almost like becoming a new person. It's like you're born again into this different spirit, a warrior spirit. It's a spirit of there is nothing I can't do." It's time to bust out of your limitations, to be born into your warrior spirit, because you are a woman. Women are powerhouses like solar, wind, geothermal energy, hydropower. Women own their own energy source. Our womb gives us the ability to birth dreams. We are creators. We are history. We are warriors. And as such, there are 5 things you can do to operate in your rightful place as a woman king. First, combat the fear of not being enough. What you currently have in your hands is enough. You do not need another title, degree, or certificate to serve as evidence and validation of being good enough. You have a wealth of experience beyond what is required for your dream job or promotion, but the real issue is, do you know your worth? Or maybe you're afraid of it. Don't get me wrong, I value education, but another degree or certification is not necessarily going to make your dreams come true. Overcoming your fear will. Second, assess your professional superpowers. Now's the time to take a deep look at what's in your treasure chest, and I'm talking about your resume, to really see your gifts, talents, and expertise. Some of you don't look at your resume until it's time to get a new job, And not only do you distance yourself from that document, but your real professional story is masked because you downplay your accomplishments and value. Many of you are trying to obtain new opportunities, but you're unsuccessful because you don't know what you're selling. Listen, would you buy something that was going to cost you thousands of dollars and the person selling it wasn't clear on the purpose, the function, or the results of the product? Of course not. But that's exactly what you're trying to do. You are enough. Absorb that truth daily until you start to look, smell, and move like your true self. Third, establish a fierce tribe. You have been rolling solo for too long and you need a tribe. Take a leap by collaborating. Sometimes our dreams come true when we join forces with others. Be open to new unfamiliar opportunities. Your next ally or partner may not look like past ones. And don't get upset when friends that you usually work with don't show up for you in this season. The ones who do are supposed to be there, but forcing the presence of no-shows is a mistake because they may not be ready or right for this leg of the journey, and that's okay. The people who are right or ready end up being distractions or hindrance to your progress, and it takes spiritual maturity to accept this reality. In this season of new beginnings, only rock and roll with those who are ready and able to rock and roll with you. Fourth, make your next strategic career move with a warrior spirit. There are no golden tickets, magic dust, get rich quick tips, and even if you pray, God requires you to do work and it maybe experience some discomfort. Comfort is the leading cause of dream deaths, and it is time to embrace discomfort and change. This season is an opportunity to grow if you choose, and choosing not to grow will lead to the abortion of your dreams and the pursuit of ill-fitting opportunities. No longer straddle the fence. Own that you have transitioned into a new season of your professional life. You are not the same person you were 10 years ago. You can't tolerate the same issues, you won't accept the same challenges, and you're not fulfilled by the same work. Your anxiety and grief are the result of a half commitment to this transition. Sis, you have straddled priorities. Peace is found in your commitment to place both feet squarely in this new phase of your life. You know, you've participated in coaching sessions, prayer meetings, sister circles, executive masterminds, badass boot camps, and God himself has given you the escape route. So go. Finally, sis, tell the truth. You can't do steps 1 through 4 if you are unwilling to answer this question. What do I really want? Tell the truth like no one is in the room. None of this will work until you stand up, look at yourself, and confess. I'm not sharing this because I have it all figured out. I'm sharing this because I'm demonstrating that I live this, and you can too. My name is Dr. Johnette Ruffner-Ceaser. I am the founder and CEO of Liberated Expressions, LLC, where we teach career women how to obtain peace in their professional life. And if you want more peace, I invite you to visit us at liberated-expressions.com to secure your free 15-minute introductory call to learn how we can support you. Thank you for listening.
Hi, I am Kayshawn Brooks, and I am here to speak to you about why every business owner should have their own affiliate program incorporated into their organization. And when I mean every business owner, I mean every business owner. It does not matter if you have a product-based business, a service-based business, or even a nonprofit. every business owner can benefit from having an affiliate program. Now, you may be wondering, what is an affiliate? An affiliate is someone who refers your product or your service for some type of incentive. It may be, a cash incentive. It can be, free products, free services, a discount. It's whatever you, the business owner, wants to give the affiliate for compensation for sharing your products and services. So if you think about it, we all naturally are walking, talking affiliates. We always, especially if we have a good experience, we go tell someone else about it. Like, if we had an amazing experience at a restaurant, at a spa, a vacation, we even refer, our preference of airlines, car dealerships, where to buy homes. We do this naturally all the time just because we want someone else to experience the good experience we had. But do we get anything from it? No, we don't get anything at all. And most of the time, we're not even looking to get anything. We're just naturally sharing it. So why not, you as the business owner, why not incorporate an affiliate program so that as others utilize your products and your services, when they share it with someone else, they get some type of incentive. Now, there's no right or wrong incentive. It's you, the business owner. It's what you want to give. So again, it can be monetary. It can be a discount on future products and services, free shipping. I mean, anything. It's whatever you want to set it as, and you can change it at any time. Nothing is never set in stone. Another way of looking at this is insurance agents or realtors. They may offer you $100 bonus for every time you refer someone and they close the sale. So it's the same thing as that. Now, like I said, every business owner can benefit, off of this, and we should, and something that, just me as a entrepreneur and just, talking with other people, I've noticed, we have this spirit of we need to do everything on our own by ourselves. But why not work smarter instead of harder? Why work harder when you can work smarter? And that is with a team. Why not have a team of people out here promoting your products and services on your behalf, sharing your products and services on your behalf instead of just you by yourself? For example, the reason why every business should have their own affiliate program is if you're going to be spending money on marketing and ads specifically, this is the most cost-effective way to market and promote your business. For example, if you do Facebook ads, Google ads, or whatever platform you're going to do ads on, you spend that money and you just hope for the best, or, especially if you go through an agency or someone who is specializing in ads, they tell you, you have to invest, or it takes 3 to 4 months or whatever time frame they put. So it's basically, you're planting those seeds, all that money that you're giving out, and then you're hoping for the best harvest if anything comes back. But if you have your own affiliate program, it doesn't work like that. Affiliates only get paid when the transaction has been done. So what better way to promote and advertise your business through affiliates, because they know they get a commission or their free product or service or whatever once whoever they bring comes patronize your business. So I don't know any other organic cost-effective way to market and promote your business than through having affiliates. Another reason, every business should have their own affiliate program, because we're all looking to get more brand awareness. You know, we want more people to talk about us. We don't just want our friends and family, you know, the ones closest to us speaking about our business, because that is what is expected. But the brand awareness grows. For example, you know, for me, when Facebook, you only can have a max of 5,000 friends. So, and then you only 2 to 3% only see your whatever you put online anyway. But we're not even going to pay attention to the 2 to 3%. We're just going to look at the number 5,000 total. You got 5,000 friends, and that's who all you're going to talk to over and over again. But if you have 20 affiliates on Facebook, that number just jumped from 5,000 to 100,000. Now look at that brand awareness, that increase that just jumped, you know, just by having your affiliates. So now you're not just speaking to your people on your timeline, you have the 20 affiliates speaking on your behalf as well. So that's a major increase in brand awareness. So, and that's just Facebook, you know, and that's just that one platform. You know, it can be all the other social media platforms, or vlogging or blogging, you know, writing articles. There are so many different ways that affiliates can get your brand out there. And of course, you know, the more people that know about your brand, that's going to increase your sales. So who doesn't want more sales? You know, every business owner does. Like I said, it doesn't matter if you have a product base or a service base, or even if you're a nonprofit. You know, nonprofits do sell items, or they could be looking for more donations. Now you have this team of people out here promoting your nonprofit, helping you increase in your donations as well. Okay, next, also partnerships. You know, affiliates is just like having little partnerships, but they can go out there and find you more partnerships to collaborate with and grow your business. You know, that's something every business owner should be looking at, as well as who can I collaborate with? Who can I partner with? And as the business owner, you got a million things to do. You know, you're not an octopus with multiple arms. You only have two, but you can utilize your affiliates to help you find more partnerships, more collaborations, you know, as well. And having an affiliate program for every business, it also, what else do I have here? It helps you build business relationships, because now they're out there speaking to other businesses on your behalf. When they're coming with the referrals from the partnerships, this is all to grow your company. And so they're going to be building these business relationships on behalf of you. So there's so many different reasons to have your own affiliate program. And I want you to think past just, oh, it's more sales. No, this is a community that you have for your company, whether if it's product, service, or nonprofit. Now, me, you know, my company, Renew You Body Butters, I have 59 affiliates, one celebrity brand ambassador who's all about promoting our products and services. So this was the best way for me to grow my business, for me to have partnerships, collaborations, learn more about networking events. It was the best thing that has ever happened to me. So if you are interested, I do have a free ebook, which is 10 reasons to start your own affiliate program. I just gave you a few here, and some of the ones that I gave you here are not even in the free ebook. So if you want all of those, you can go to my Linktree, which is Linktree/Renew You Body Butters, or you can go to my Instagram page, Renew You Body Butters, and click on the link, 10 reasons to 10 reasons for you to have your own affiliate program. And I hope you enjoyed this presentation. I hope you go download that free ebook and start your own affiliate program. All right, y'all. Bye.
It was 8:30 on a Saturday morning when I finally had a chance to sleep in, and I had my Zen going. I was sleeping so peacefully. Then all of a sudden, I heard this rumbling and this thumping and knocking at the door. Mom, there's practice. Mom, where's the remote? Mom, I need oatmeal. Oh my gosh. And then the computer starts dinging. The phone starts ringing. I knew then in that moment, right then, my Zen had come to an end. Hi, greetings to you. My name is Leslie Latimore-Lorfils, affectionately known as Coach L3. And as a busy mom of 12 amazing children, while serving as a senior officer in the Army alongside my husband, I can certainly appreciate what I call the 3C sisters: crazy, chaos, and confusion. And because of my family dynamics, I will always get the question of, how do you do it? And I thought, how do I do it? And as a result of that, Girl Organized That Life, a productivity coaching program, was born. It was conceived. And it's geared to help busy moms, mompreneurs, military moms who feel like they're frazzled, to go from frazzled to focused and fearless in a short period of time. In the short version, I help to sew up moms when they feel like they're falling apart at the seams. Today, I'm just going to give 3 quick pro tips on how you can decrease stress, optimize your success, and not lose yourself in the process. We are going to learn how to conquer the overwhelm. These tips you can take with you and implement them time now, real time. The first thing we're going to talk about is emotional intelligence. There are certain components to emotional intelligence, but the only one I want to talk about today is self-awareness. Self-awareness includes knowing your emotional state and where you are, and can you adapt in certain environments. It also talks about your self-confidence. Are you willing to put yourself forward? And having good self-assessment of you. Emotional intelligence is not a new phenomenon. However, it is heavily studied widely today. So the first thing is to be self-aware of who you are, okay? Once you do that, first antidote number 1, mindset. We're always talking about mindset, mindfulness, and what does that mean? Mindset means fixing your brain to dispel limiting beliefs, understanding the power of manifestation in your words, and that your words have energy and your words have power, and understanding that where your mind goes, your body follows. Not my quote, that's by Joyce Meyer. Another one of my mentors would say, wherever you are in life, your mind got there first. And I believe that. Example, one of my sorority sisters said, Leslie, everything that you've wanted, it has come to pass. And I was like, wow. I hadn't thought about it until she told me. And that solidifies for me the power of manifestation with the words, and just really having a serious, strong belief that it will come to pass. So that's the first thing, is to mind your mind, okay? The second thing, and when you're minding your mind, make sure that people around you are minding theirs, because you don't want that energy pouring into your space, okay? The second thing I'd like to leave you with is prioritization. Prioritization of all the goals and tasks and things that you feel like you have to accomplish in warp speed, and do you have enough time to really do that? Okay, so studying the book 12-Week Year talks about time blocking. You have time blocking first being your strategic block, where you have 3 hours a week of focus on the hard work that you need to do with 0 interruptions. I mean, no kids, no dogs, no anything. Then you have your buffer time, where you can check emails, answer phone calls, check your appointments, check your calendar. And then you have your breakout, where you have your mindless activities, i.e. binging on Netflix. So that's the first thing. Consider time blocking. Consider time blocking. And in your time blocking, after you figure out what that is, then you go into prioritization. Prioritization of everything that you have to do. If you have a goal, set your goals and make sure that you have sub goals to reach that goal. If you're doing something that's not moving your needle closer to that goal, you're doing the wrong thing, and immediately you need to reassess where you are and come back to it, okay?
So that's time blocking. And there are so many anecdotes out there. I can't go into all of it right now because this is meant to be quick and efficient and to give you some quick things that you can do. But we can go deeper into this at another time. The third thing I like to leave you with, self-preservation and self-management. What does that mean? You have to set boundaries. I had to set boundaries with my children. They're dear to me. I love them, all 12 of them. 7 still remain home. Why am I saying that? Grown kids come back. I had a daughter that's in college that was going through something, had to help her navigate through it. However, it caused me to have an emotional and mental gap per se because I was depleted. So I had to tell my daughter, I love you, but for this next week, I have to redirect my energy to your siblings that are still home, and I need you to be self-sufficient. I'm saying it to you, my friends, because I want you to be able to do that, even with those folks that are in the house. In addition to setting boundaries, take time for meditation, prayer, get in a quiet space, create an area of tranquility, create your Zen room. Do that, okay? It is so extremely important that you do that and that you let people know around you how you're going to show up. And lastly, exercise, move around, release those endorphins. All those things help you to feel better, help you feel more energized, and overly less stress. I know that this is quick. I know that these are quick antidotes, but I wanted to leave you with some things that's going to help you to decrease your stress, optimize your success, and not lose yourself in the process, right? Those are the things that I'm leaving with you today. Overall, you are conquering the overwhelm in doing these things. The mindset, changing your mind, understanding yourself and who you are and how you show up, and understanding what it is to prioritize and how to really do that. Being able to differentiate glass balls from rubber balls. And not only that, self-preservation. If you would like to go deeper with me on any of these concepts, to include discovering your superpower, which will further codify how you show up and why you show up, that's within your DNA, I definitely would love for you to connect with me at www.girlorganizethatlife.com. www.girlorganizethatlife.com. It is my sincere prayer that you were able to walk away with some clear antidotes as to how you can live a more fulfilling life, decrease your stress, and optimize your success, and not lose yourself in the process. Thank you so much.
Hi, my name is Monique Toussaint, and I am the president of Monumental Business Solutions. As a certified career and executive leadership coach, I have over a decade of experience in strategic planning, coaching, and program development. Today, I have the immense pleasure of presenting to you on the title, The Leader Within: How do we build the leadership capacity of women? To get us started, I want to first walk you through our objectives for today. Our goal today is to help you identify and own the leadership roles that you play in the various entities of your life, and to walk away with tips for embracing, engaging, and evaluating how you lead those connected to you in everyday life. To do that, let's first get on the same page about what is a LeadHer. A leader is not someone that's dictated by their title or their position, but how you enter the room. Today's session is more so about how you see yourself, how you want to be seen, how you value yourself, and building your inner capacity to show up externally. And to get us through that and to build it and to help you feel confident to walk into a room like you own it and you should be there, I am going to use those questions as our guiding light. So let's think about this, right? A lot of today will be based on these 4 questions. How do you see yourself? Let's think about that. How you see yourself is how you show up. If you don't feel confident, you're not going to show up confident. If you don't feel competent, you're not going to act competent. If you don't communicate, you're not going to be able to tell people how you feel, what you need, and how you can lead. The other thing to think about is, where are you currently a leader? There are things where you have official titles and where you don't have official titles. So let's think about those places where you lead. So for me, I feel like a leader in my family. I feel like a leader at school. I feel like a leader at work. even in those places where I don't have an official title as leader or an organizational chart that places me as leader, but based on the roles that I play in these different spaces, I am a leader. And I want you to think about those roles and where you show up as being a leader. And then, because we're always about focusing on the future, I want you to think about where would you like to be a leader, okay? So there's those official things that aspirationally and professionally you think about, I would like to be a leader in this way one day. So outside of my career, I would like to be a wife and a mom one day, right? I think those are leadership roles. They are, and I don't think they are. They are. And so that's something I would like to be a leader about. And then where, in terms of maybe C-suite one day, or, you know, thinking about where else I want to be a leader. And so think about where you want to be a leader. And then finally, how do you want to be seen as a leader? So we started off talking about how you see yourself, but then how do you want to be seen? Because sometimes how we come across is not how we think we're portraying ourselves. And so these two things are super important about how you show up in a space. And so with these 4 questions in mind, we're going to spend a lot of time today thinking about how we show up. Okay? All right. To guide our conversation, I want you to be your own teacher. Evaluate yourself. Think back to your school days where you would get a grade. And these are some things I would want you to think about working on internally so they show up externally in the places where you are a LeadHer and where you want to be a LeadHer. So think about it. Professionally, you want to think about attire, right? Do you dress for the part that you want, not the part that you have? I know you've heard that before. So there's a difference in how people treat you if you show up in a hoodie versus a business suit. Now, while we know they should not discriminate, they do. So in the professional space, you want to think about, how do I show up? Does my attire command respect? Then you want to think about your communication skills. Can you communicate? Are you clear and consistent with your communication? Do people listen when you communicate? And do you listen to others when they communicate? You also want to think about your decision making. Are you a firm decision maker? Are you indecisive? Do you need outside influences to help you make decisions? Think about, how do you resolve conflict? Are you always in the conflict? Do you run from the conflict? Are you the problem solver? Think about critical thinking. Are you the one that helps to lay out the vision? Are you the one that gives feedback on the vision? Are you the one that's like, okay, guys, here's a plan? And then goal setting. Do you write it down? Do you meet the goals? Do you have the goals? I probably should have started with that one at the top, because for all of these, you want to identify a goal after you grade yourself and then put some comments on there, right? Because some things you'll need more than others. And then think about your interpersonal skills. How do you show up? How do you engage with people? Are you a pleasure to be around? Do you like working on teams? And then think about your level of initiative. Do you need to be prodded, or are you a natural leader? You jump out there all the time. And then networking. We think about networking, you know, there's the mom groups, there's the professional networking groups, there's the family alliances. You know, when I was younger, if I wanted something, I'd send my brother, be like, hey, can you go ask mommy? So we've been networking a long time. And then thinking about time management, because as women, we have so many roles and we have to make sure that we manage our time accordingly so they're all covered. Okay? So let's just take a few minutes and sit with that and think about, how do we show up in these spaces? What goals do you want to work on? What goals do you need to work on? What goals do you excel in? And that is how you work on building the leader from within. So take a few minutes and complete your assessment. I won't use that time on the video, but I want you to take some time, even more, to think about what that means for you, how you show up in this space, and just put some real thought into it. Now, the other thing you should think about is, what surprised you? What are some things you did really, really well? And then what do you plan to do differently? Because ladies, or gentlemen, if you're there, To do the same thing over and over and to expect something different is what we call insanity. And I know you've heard that before. And so I want to emphasize that. If there is something you did not give yourself a good grade for, do not continue doing what you're doing. Think about what should you do differently to get to where you say you want to be as a LeadHer. All right. And then here are some things to think about as we get ready to close out. How should you show up? Now that you know where you are, I want to give you some tips for where you should be, okay? And if anyone knows me, they know I love acronyms, and I know I already said a leader is how you enter a room, but I also wanted to give you some practical tips for how to be a leader. Listen to everybody, all perspectives. You know, think of yourself as a judge. You want to hear the case from all sides. You also want to make sure that they feel like you're listening to them as well. You want to engage fully. You want to be present in the moment at that time, give it your all at that time, and then make sure that they're engaged as well. You want to add value to the spaces that you're in. You don't want to show up and be present only, but you want to make sure when people walk away, they feel like you've added something to the conversation, to the group, to whatever that space is for you. And then I talked about purpose a lot. You want to make sure what you're doing is aligned to your purpose. We can do all things well, but is it what we're supposed to be doing? And then highlighting key points in the moment. When you think about those arguments, you're like, oh my God, I should have said this then. Well, think about those moments in the boardroom or in the conversation where you were talking about something or something came up and you held it in. Don't quench your brilliance. Say it. Talk about those key things in the moment. And then evaluate the interactions. What can you do differently? What can you do better? What did you do well? Give yourself grace and give yourself credit. And then finally, reflect and plan for the future. So we've talked about how you show up, what that means, what you should do. As a leader, what does it mean? But these key things right here would help you to build your confidence, build your competence, and be confident in who you are and what you do and how you show up as a leader. And then finally, none of this is possible without accountability. So again, I talk about this in probably every presentation because nothing is possible without accountability. Find someone you trust and respect, share your failures and successes, evaluate your growth, adjust along the way. And remember who you are and what you add to the room. Only stay in rooms that align to your purpose. If the room doesn't exist, create it. Ladies, gentlemen, all guests, thank you for your time. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for the value that you add in all the communities and all the roles that you show up in. And please stay connected. I'm on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, all as Things Monumental. You can reach me at solutions@monumentalbusiness.com. It's been my immense pleasure to talk to you about being a leader and building the capacity of leadership in women. And I am excited to connect with you. So please don't forget to thank Monumental.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Hello, my name is Nishika Melton, and I help people break free from the cycle of identity crisis that has kept them from seeing and fulfilling their God-given purpose. And so what I want to talk about today is the cross that we bear. As women, we are often called the backbone of everything that we do, backbone of the family, backbone in our career, no matter, we're the backbone. However, somewhere along the way, it's been put in us that in order to be the backbone, we have to break our back. We have to be injured to be successful. And we need to let go of that because that's not the case. That's not what it has to be. And everybody has their own definition of success. You have to define that for yourself, whatever that may look like. But along that journey, we know that life is going to be life. There's going to be hills to climb, valleys to cross, all kinds of different things that we're going to go through and deal with. And along that journey, nothing says that we have to cross the finish line broken, busted, and disgusted. We don't have to be crippled. Okay. We don't have to go through all of that. We don't have to be mentally drained to the point that we don't know who we are. We don't have to lose ourselves in this journey. And a lot of time in leadership, women as leaders, we're often told who we are as leaders versus being developed. And so what I want to ask you right now, just as a point of reflection, no judgment. This is a no judgment zone, no judgment. I just want you to think about this question. Are you carrying a load? The load that you're supposed to be carrying? Or are you being loaded on? Because remember, we're the backbone, right? So we carry everybody else's hurt and pain and problems and questions and issues and concerns and all kind of stuff. And we weave it into our load. Sweetheart, sugar pie. That's not what we have to do. A lot of women are strong, not because they want to be, but because they had to be. And they had to be because they were being unloaded on. I want you to understand that that does not have to be your journey. That does not have to be what you do. When we're clear on what our purpose is, when we're clear on the steps that we need to take to get there, when we're clear on who's supposed to be riding with us, okay, when we're on this journey, because there's certain times where we're driving the car. There's other times where we're the passenger. There's other times when we're in the back seat. And you know what? All of those seats are okay. Just know who's supposed to be seated where. Because this is your journey as much as it is theirs. And when you let people tell you your seat versus knowing your seat, the ride becomes completely different. The journey that you're taking becomes completely different. So as you're chasing your definition of success, my sister, make sure it's your definition. Make sure you're clear. And I know I have these glasses, so that helps me with my 2020. Okay. Don't let anybody dictate to you. And if you're not clear, then make sure you get the assistance that you need, that guidance to help make that picture what it's supposed to be, what it needs to be. We have to make sure that all along this journey, that we're not the bag lady, right? Carrying everybody else's stuff. Life is life. Life gets hard. It has its ups and downs. But, or maybe I should be saying we can still enjoy the ride. It's okay. It's okay. And we hear all the time, sis, you ought to be willing to fix somebody else's crown. And yes, when I see my sister low, I help her hold her head up. But in helping her hold her head up, in helping her fix her crown, that doesn't mean I take on her load. I might help her adjust so that she can carry that load a little bit better, right? But it's not my job to carry it because her journey is her journey. And while I may be with her during this moment in time, when my stop comes, I got to make sure that I'm leaving with only the bags I'm supposed to be carrying. When you get checked into the airport, the luggage can only weigh so much, or you got to pay a price. Come on, you have to pay a price. And every airline says you can have a personal item, and a carry-on. Everybody has to carry their own bags. Life is the same, sis. Life is the same. Don't let anybody tell you different. Don't let anybody guilt you into thinking that you are their burden bearer and their heavy load sharer. Okay, no, ma'am. No. You were built to carry your cross. You were designed to carry your cross. And all throughout the day, we are seeking God to see, is this the place that I'm supposed to drop this particular load? Is this the place that I'm supposed to pick up something else that's going to help me on my journey? We do that we should be doing that all throughout the day. So that when we get to those different checkpoints of our success journey, we're not so beaten down and broken down that we can't enjoy it. And we're also supposed to be enjoying the journey itself. So make sure throughout your day, you're checking in. You're checking in. Okay, God, this is feeling a little heavy. What's going on? Did I pick up too much? Did I miss my stop? Am I sitting in the wrong seat? Did I pick up a hitchhiker along the way and now it's weighing me down? All those are important. Because while you are the backbone, please don't break your back. Guard your heart. Your mental health is everything. Your emotional health is everything. But nobody's going to protect it like you. Every part of you has to be priceless. And if you don't see it as priceless, nobody else is obligated to. So, I don't have a lot of time to go into everything. So I'm going to invite you to join me on Instagram. And you can find me at What She Said Coaching, at What She Said Coaching. And I'm dropping little nuggets here and there. Because I want you to reach your success whole and healed. And you should want the same thing. And anybody else speaking different, go ahead and let them off at the next stop because they crowd your space. Take care.
Hello and welcome to Awaking, activating your soul's purpose. Look, this is where it gets real good. And it gets real good because this is the moment that you've come to realize that I no longer want to just be walking like the dead walking. So I get a chance to tap into that space in your heart, tap into that space that you have been hiding out in, the place where you've been wrestling with living in your purpose, and you are now ready to revolutionize your life. And we're going to do that through this mighty framework that I've developed called the Free Framework. So of course, I want to introduce myself. I am Shakira Hemphill. I am your connection coach. I am here to help you disrupt the myths of unworthiness, deepen your faith, dive into your destiny, and disrupt the enemy's agenda. So today, we're going to do something really quickly together that is going to activate that special place inside of you that's so much bigger. Y'all know, you can tell I'm so excited. I get real excited about the moments when I get to really allow God to show up and do the exceedingly abundantly above all we could ever ask, think, or imagine. So think about this. Let me go. Let me think. Let's think. You're in a season where things seem unclear. There's an uncertainty that's plaguing you, or even your thoughts of being unworthy are kind of dealing with you in some way. And you know you have purpose, and you know you have a calling on your life, and you're trying to just get out of that moment where you no longer have to try to figure out all of the things, but figuring out this one thing will give you so much freedom. So today, I invite you to awaken. There are phases of sleeping that oftentimes we don't even realize that we have fallen into a slumber. And it's not until we are awakened, until that moment when you hear your name, tap yourself and call out your name, Shakira, and you're awakened. And then all of a sudden something comes inside and you're like, ooh, that reminded me of something. But then there is a moment too that comes where you are then still trying to wrestle with the past and you want to be free. You want to experience a revival in your soul, a revolutionizing revival. You want to be empowered. You want to eradicate the thoughts that you have been hiding and position yourself to live at the highest possibility that God has created you to live at. So we're going to do something together. It's going to take you to a space where you get to dig in it just a little bit. And at the end, I'm going to tell you how we can continue to do that work together. Because what I know is that what we do now is going to connect some pieces for you that you didn't even know were actually pieces that you were dealing with and wrestling with. So today, we're going to uncover some of those hidden fears. We're going to uncover the fears that are attached to your past, the fears that you don't talk to people about. And we're going to start the engagement of this method that I've used to help me block hidden fears. Awaken. Awaken sort of means like you're roused from a sleep. Now, if you've ever been in a deep sleep and someone taps you on your shoulder, you're like, excuse me, you jump, you're startled, you get that moment where you're like, oh, I still need like 10 more minutes of sleep. That's me. When I get in that good sleep, I'm like, oh, please, no one touch me. Don't wake me up. Don't talk to me. I am resting. Let me rest. And so for the past couple of weeks, I've been feeling like there was a pulling. And it was an unexplainable pulling. And what I recognize is that there are times in our life where we are digging for freedom. And that's the first F in the framework, free. You're digging for freedom and you're looking for it because the opposite of what you normally have felt is bondage, fear, scary thoughts. And now you get a chance to live freely. So I want you to take out a sheet of paper real quick. And I want you to write this as your prompt. Freedom looks like. So I want you to write down, what does freedom look like for you? All right. Now, I want you to take that paper, and when you're thinking about freedom, I want you to put on the other side of that, on the back side of your paper, fear. And I want you to write, these are things that I fear. Now I'm imagining I can see you right away. So I'm fearful of people giving me feedback. I'm fearful of leaving my job and then leaving to pursue entrepreneurship, and then it doesn't go well. I'm fearful of roller coasters. I'm fearful of mice. I don't like anything that is furry and crawls. I don't care if it's a raccoon, a mouse, a possum. You can tell I'm a city girl. So you can follow me at The Woman of Worth, The Wild Experience. Yep. I was just so excited. I forgot to even say that verse. All right. So you wrote out your freedom because this is a quick hitter. Now, revival. When you think about revival, I want you to take your paper and I want you to write what revives you, what gets you excited. Revival for me is music. So hearing music, being able to engage in music and being able to be excited about what's ahead, journaling revives me. Next, empower your next E and free, because you want to talk about like these are the things that help you to actually move past that space of feeling like, woe, it's me. Everything happens for me, not for me, but against me. And one thing I learned a long time ago is that nothing happens to me. It happens for me. So I'm going to experience the for in everything that I do because I am worthy of experiencing the infinite possibilities that God has for me. All right. Then you're going to jump into this last E, eradicate. Now, you know, on that back side of your paper, you wrote fear. Now, you're going to actually eradicate some of those thoughts that you put in on the back side of your paper for the fear side, because eradication is important. In order for you to even get to the next level, for you to even tap into your fears, for you to even tap into your past, you have to say that these are things that I experienced, but they did not happen to me. They happened for me. And because it happened for me, that means I get to change the narrative. I get to change the story. And because I get to change the story, that means that I ultimately have a space to do more with what actually happened to me. Okay. So you're going to take those 4 things. We have 4. Say it with me. Freedom, revive, empower, and eradicate. And then on the back, you have your fear. The only thing that you need to focus on right now is this is what freedom looks like for me. This is what revival feels like to me. This is how I walk in my empowerment. What does empowerment mean for you? How are you empowering others? And these are the things that I'm eradicating. And what you're going to recognize is that deep down inside of those 4 areas, you're going to begin to see that there's some past stories. There's some things you showed yourself and told yourself before that really aren't who you are now. They're experiences that you had that don't line up with the person that you are now. So this is important because what I want you to know, there's an entire series that I do on awaken, activating your soul's purpose. And there's a workbook that goes with it. So I want you to reach out to me and then I want you to send me a message on Instagram, text me, let me know that you watched this video and that you are ready to be awakened. You literally can just send me a message and say awakened or I am awakened. And then I will know that you were someone who actually had a chance to be a part of what we're history makers. We are the women in the earth that are called here to be history makers. So I'm telling you, sis, I'm cheering for you. I cannot wait to see that awakening moment. The giant has been awakened. And I'm hoping that as you dig into these 4 areas where you're thinking about your freedom, you're experiencing your revolution and your revival, you're empowered, you're eradicating the thoughts that don't line up with the thoughts that God has said about you, and that you are dismissing and you are severing fear so that